Hi everyone. I'd like to just make some general comments about what we're studying in module number 2. In module number 2, we're examining for the first time exceptions to the search warrant requirement. And everybody's posts on the discussion board that I've read have been very thorough and helpful to each other, I think, to help each other pick up different aspects of what we studied so far. But there's one overall comment that I would like to make sure that everyone recognizes. The United States Supreme Court has stated in many cases surrounding the Fourth Amendment that any search conducted outside prior judicial approval are per se unreasonable unless it involves a well delineated and recognized exception to the search warrant requirement. That's a very important premise to make whenever we're looking at various exceptions to the search warrant requirement. Because truly the courts do prefer that the police obtain warrants before intruding onto an individual's Fourth Amendment right to privacy. That's not to say that I'm going to take any points away for those of you that did not mention that fact. I recognize everyone is not a law student, but it's a very important notion to keep in the back of your mind when we're looking at issues surrounding the Fourth Amendment, because really the court has that preference for search warrants and warrants in general, even when it comes to arrest warrants. Now, although we all know that there are exceptions, including on-site arrests and arrests on speedy information. But it's really important that you all recognize that the courts really prefer that any search is conducted by the police that the police first obtain a search warrant. So just keep that in mind, and I think that will help you to always bear in mind whether or not, when you're out there working in the field, whether or not you should obtain a search warrant. Again, the court recognizes there are well-recognized exceptions to the search warrant, and I'm not telling you that they shouldn't be used. But it's important to remember and to start any discussion out that involves a search that the courts have a strong preference for judicial approval prior to police conducting a search. And then talk about, for instance, in Module 2, we're looking at the exception here, and that exception being the search incident to arrest. And it's also a good idea when you're looking at the different exceptions to explain or to at least mention the court's reasoning for recognizing the particular exception. Here we've seen that it is really for two things. Number one, for officer safety, to make sure that when they're effecting an arrest of somebody, that the person doesn't have any weapons that they can get to quickly to injure officers. And the second rationale being that it's for the prevention of the destruction of evidence. So those are some important things to keep in mind, and everyone did a really nice job of applying the facts that were presented in the question to the law, and some people didn't do quite as good a job. Some people just kind of hopped in and immediately began discussing Schimel, which is obviously a very important case, and United States versus Robinson is another important case to consider in your discussion. Overall, you're doing a great job. Some students have really helped facilitate some discussion in order to keep the discussion board going. That's important to see that happen, because we all learn from one another, and we have some really interesting people in this class that have some great experience, and keep up the good work. I really appreciate you all all of your efforts so far. Thank you.